Next step is decision. Now, decision is something that we always do. Everybody in this room is familiar with the process of decision making. You have decided at some point, as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and state it for the record, each and every one of you have decided to be here, right? So just as you went through whatever process you went through to decide to be here, you can decide to fulfill your dream. I submit to you there's somebody in this room whose desire was just to be here, or whose dream was just to be here, and they made a decision to be here. Those of you watching us by stream, you decided to tune in. You don't have to do this, but you made a decision to. Now, here's the interesting thing about a decision as it relates to your dream. First, you have a desire, and then you have to decide to work with the desire that you have. If you don't work your desire, if you don't work the elements of your dream, the dream can remain dormant in your soul. So when you find yourself being tugged and pulled in different directions and you can't find rest, it may very well be, saints, because you have not yet decided to work with your dream. Decision is an important step in the fulfillment of your dream. Now, when you make a decision, you open yourself up to some things, but you close yourself off to certain other things. When you make a decision, it will help shape the path that you go on in order to fulfill your dream. So you have to make sure that your decisions are sound. You have to make sure that the decisions you make are consistent with the fulfillment of your dream. Don't make decisions that are not consistent with the fulfillment of your dream. If your dream is important, then decide to fulfill your dream. Does that make sense? What's the next step on your bulletin? The next step is to ask. So the first step is to desire, and the desire is that which comes from the Father. The second step is to decide, and we just said we will decide to make decisions that are consistent with the fulfillment of our dream. What's the third step? The third step is to ask. Now, we're all familiar with the verse in Matthew that says, ask and it shall be given unto you, seek and you shall find, knock, and the door will be open to you. So when you ask, you can ask with the ability of claiming, just like you would go and knock on somebody's door if you had already prearranged, say prearranged. If you had already prearranged to meet someone at their house and they knew what time you were coming, what's a good time? You had already prearranged to meet someone else at their house at 7 o'clock, and 7 o'clock comes, you pull up in the driveway. When you pull up in the driveway and you knock on the door, what are you expecting? You're expecting the door to be open. See, so when you ask, when you have prearranged so now here is what your decision does. The desire and the decision prearrange the asking. So when you desire, when you have the desire and you decide to think in ways that are consistent with the desire, you are prearranging the meeting for when you knock at the door. So don't be surprised when you knock and the door opens, because that's the meeting you set up. Now, can I tell you what some of us do? Some of us don't set the meeting time, and we hope or we wish that someone will respond when we knock. But your asking is a claim. Say claim. Your asking is a claim that is consistent with who you are and whose you are. See, you don't have to beg or beseech in your asking, because you can ask out of the pure inheritance of who you are. The universe, say universe, the universe owes you a proper living. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So then your asking must be consistent with who you are. So don't ask below the level of what you deserve to receive. See, you know why life is difficult sometimes? Because we set goals, but we set them way down here. Yes. We set goals that are easily attainable. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have so much more within you that you can stretch and expand yourself to. So I'm just saying that stretch out make the arrangement, and then go ahead and knock and wait for the door to open. Does that make sense? What's the next step? Love. The next step is love. So now we are going to work with our desire. We're going to make sure that our decisions are consistent with the desire. We're going to ask in a way that allows us to claim the very thing that we know we deserve, and then we have to work this love element. Now, love, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, is a magnet, right? Love is seeking to pull to you that which you desire. So you have to love, say love, your dream. Okay, I need more than 6 people to say it this time. Love, your dream. If I were your dream, I wouldn't come to you either if you didn't love me. No. You. I just try to look at how we put this together. You know what I'm saying? How you say it in a way that's palatable. Let me say it this way. I like being with people who love me. Because, see, when I'm with people who love me, we interact in ways that are loving. Right? So that I express my love for them and they express their love for me. And it's a mutual exchange, almost like a magnetic appeal. It's almost like a magnetic pull. So you want to love your dream so that your dream starts to move to you just as you move to it. Now let me talk to you about this power that is called love. Here is what love does. Love casts itself out from where you are. Not only does it cast out fear, it casts itself out and finds alignment and synchronicity to that which you desire. So when you love a thing, love goes out into the invisible faith substance, which we're about to talk about, and it begins to pull on that which is out there, but that you want to be right here. Right? So now love is your way to start to, you can almost feel it in your heart. Love is your way to just sort of put your web out there. And when you put your web out there, you have to, what is in your web is eventually coming to you. I mean, here's the wonderful thing about the universe, Reverend McDowell. When you're in the spider web, God favors the spider. What am I saying? I'm saying you want to let your love grab hold of whatever it is you desire, because once it gets in your web, you're favored for the thing that's in your web. Does that make sense? We're doing good. We got good time. We got good time. We can slow down. Say breathe. Breathe. What's the next step? Faith. The next step is faith. Faith, as we've talked about it, has 2 functions. Faith has to see that which does not appear, and it also has to shape that which it sees, that which is not yet showing up. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. Now, we're still talking about steps that each of us can take to fulfill our dream. Dreams come true when you know what to do. So now, faith works in ways that works with what is not showing up, and it begins to shape that which is not showing up. Now, when we talked about faith, we talked about the faith and fear dichotomy. Did we not? We talked about the faith and fear dichotomy, because all too often we get stuck on that which we fear, and that which we fear takes precedent over the faith that we have, even though the love that we have for our dream has already casted out the fear. What does that mean? That means your fear is not going away easily.